Hello everybody and welcome to the video. In this video I'll be talking about source to target mapping using Python. If you're watching me for the first time, hey everybody, I'm Saumil. I'm a software engineer by profession and I have worked on numerous internal frameworks. One of them is Batch framework, which currently runs more than 3,700 jobs in just more than 3 terabyte worth of data. I have also developed some amazing ways to capture metadata. So for example, when a job starts, it creates a start date, end date. When a job fails, automatically it marks the process as failed. It sends an alert. I have done all that using DynamoDB. You can check out the articles if needed. This video is specifically for source to target mapping. I know there are a lot of ETL tools, but I wanted to develop something by myself to just understand the process. So let's see how I have done this. It's actually pretty amazing because here, to show you the idea here, let's say you have a JSON item, or let's say you have a key called ID. You want to map this to something called, let's say, customer ID, right? So you have a source and then you have a target, right? So you want to map these together. So how do you develop that? So here I have a table called source. If you observe, I have an ID, I have a field name, the JSON path, the data type, and whether this is required or not. And the same thing I have for the mappings, for the target as well, right? And here in the mapping, I essentially say, I want to map the yellow, and please take a look at the color if the font size is a little small, map the yellow to the green one, which means, convert the name into, like person name, right? It also does the data type conversion. For example, in the source, I define that as a string. In the destination or the target, I want to have it as an integer. It also has a default value, which means if the value is none, replace by this value. Now let me show you a demo, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Again, this is about 200 lines of Python code that I have written, but I want to just show you the demo. So for example, here you can see on line 7 to 11, I have a source. I have a field called ID. Here is the path in the JSON. It's a string and it's a required. So which means I'm saying that in my document, I have a key called ID, right? And I'm saying that I want to transform or map that into a destination where I will call this as a customer ID, as you can see here. The destination data type would be integer, and if you don't find the value, replace it by -1. So let's see this in action, right? So for example, if I run this, look at that, it converted into an integer. Hey, you know what? I want maybe a float. No problem. So now all you do is you're controlling, as you can see, you can easily control all these values here, right? Now, for example, in scenarios where this is a none, right? So now it will be replaced by a default value. You see automatically it's been taken care, right? Another thing, for example, if the source here, I have defined the data type as string. What if the data type changes, right? So for example, let's say we put a float here. Look at this, exception, alert, source field ID, data type has changed from string to float. It also captures that, right? For example, let's say I add a new field in the JSON, which is not defined in my source to target mapping. Here, alert, field name ID is not present, fix the mapping. You see how amazingly we can control all these stuff, right? So again, coming back here. Okay, we'll just do this one. And of course, sure enough, it does. So very efficiently, it will essentially map the source to the target or the destination. Not only that, we also made an amazing templates for file names, right? So we essentially made a mask system where we can inject Python code at runtime. So for example, if you want the file name, let's say you want the file name as, like this, .json. Hey, guess what? Automatically, this will inject the value at runtime. Hey, you know what? I just want a GUID, right? Okay, no problem. Use the mask, automatically the file name. So as you can see, this is the power of templates, right? Try to develop templates as much as possible here. I can also use my custom variable, right? So now the user doesn't have to go inside the code and change. All you do is you change the mask and automatically it changes the file name. And here, of course, I showed you the source to target mapping, right? I can define my source, I can have my target, it does all the job for me. Again, not only that, I have also made again, all of the code is there, but I also made a framework or sort of a way to capture the statuses of the process. So when a process starts, it creates a start date, end date, what is the status throughout, what is the status of the process throughout that, whether it's a success, failed, in progress. If it did fail, you can see where exactly it failed, at what particular steps, right? It also sends you an alert at that moment, so real time, anytime a job fails, you can get alert. And we designed all of this using DynamoDB, right? So what you see here is these are all templates that you can use as a data engineers, right? We essentially believe in developing these generalized templates. So then later on, there is a very little effort that is needed from our side. So developing templates, writing all these custom code really helps us. I'll leave all the material in the description, for example, for source to target mapping, for process and metadata capture, file name system. If you want to make a system generalized that don't hard code stuff, right? Make it a template and control the parameters through a database. That is the goal here. Hope you enjoyed the demos. Hope you enjoyed the insights. And if you have any more questions, list your question in the comments and I'll be more than happy to help and assist you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.